Teruvan Saranai, may you be blessed by the noble triple gem. You all are welcome to this channel. Today, for the first time, you can watch a Dhamma discussion with an Indian monk. Buddhists and ordinary people in India often ask questions. This monk also asked me very timely and important questions. He is very talented, virtuous, and ready to learn and unlearn, disciple of the Buddha, despite his young age. Listen carefully and listen with patience.
नमो बुद्धाय। आज हमारे बीच में श्रीलंका से भंते जी हैं। हम जानते हैं भगवान बुद्ध के बारे में और भगवान बुद्ध के कुछ सूत्रों के बारे में कि भगवान बुद्ध का एक्चुअल शिक्षा क्या है, एग्जैक्टली हम बुद्ध धर्म को कैसे समझें। तो भंते जी से हम क्वेश्चन करेंगे और भंते जी आपको कुछ नई धम्म देशना के रूप में कुछ नया मार्गदर्शन देने का प्रयास करेंगे। मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन भंते जी से है, हम कैसे भगवान बुद्ध की शिक्षा को सही तरीके से समझे। सो भंते जी, माय फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट बुद्ध टॉट एग्जैक्टली।
Namaskar everybody. Namaskar Bhante. Today we discuss Bhanteji's question is how to understand Dhamma, what Buddha said. It is a very good question because people think if it is written in somewhere, if the original text is somehow we trace the original text, it is easy to understand because we know that this is the original text. But even if it is in the original text, somebody should comment. A teacher should comment who knows Pali to understand the exact meaning what the Buddha has said. His knowledge, his words are so profound, so uncommon to the normal people. Without a commentator, without a person like Bhanteji or somebody, teacher, normal person cannot understand. Even you say Sabbapapa Sakarna, Kusala Supasampada, Sachitta Pariyodapana, Etam Buddhanu Sasanam is everybody in India, in Sri Lanka, everywhere, everybody knows that. But so far, 90% of Sri Lankan Buddhists, I don't know how much in India, it must be same, almost same misconception. 90% think it is kusala is about punya karma. Okay? Even before meeting my teacher, I knew, as I became monk, I knew that these are two different issues. So, what the Buddha has taught exactly, it is the best thing, I think, Bhante. We must be truthful. If you don't know, you must say that I don't know. And listen to the Bhante or somebody who know the subject. Sometimes you think you know, but actually you don't know anything. The heaps of Dhamma, heaps of good, very big volume of some knowledge is a problem than help. But in other case, Buddha says, whatever you learn, Sabban Sutta Manyeta, Hina Mukkata Majjima. See, Buddha says, whatever possible, Hina means low things, very simple things, Majjima, the middle class things, the Usas, Uttama things, everything you must learn. Don't think this is simple, trivial, don't leave it. Everything you can learn. But don't think some people learn so many texts in the Buddhist structure, not about life. They don't look at the life, what is life happening. In Buddhist countries like Sri Lanka, we have a tradition that we think when you become a monk, from the very young age they become monks. That is a bad thing, I think, not always good. To tell you very softly, it is not always good, you can say. If you tell very truthfully, it is almost bad. That is the truth, because the young person doesn't understand the life. But in rare cases, like my teacher, for example, my teacher became a monk also a very young age, 14 years. And he is my teacher. I am not a minute I am ashamed of call him my teacher. He is one of the greatest, I may say that he is the greatest teacher I have ever seen. He became monk very young age. He is the exception of the rule. As a rule, if somebody becomes a monk at a very young age, it will help to go carry on the tradition, whatever good or bad, but not the Buddha's path. But my teacher, his teacher was the rector of the university, the Southern University of Sri Lanka for 20 years. It is an exception. When a student comes under such a person, he is an erudite, he is a library, a walking library. That monk, he was so fluent in every subject. When my Bhante said, when he goes to Colombo or somewhere, Colombo is our capital, everybody knows. So when he goes to somewhere, he used to buy some books. He never choose books. This is Buddhist, this is not Buddhist. Whatever books, he buys new books, everything in the bookshop. So he used to read everything. That is the real Buddhist monk, or whoever call him Buddhist monk or truth seeker or whatever. He will find the noble path, what Buddha has said. That is a short introduction. I can say if you have a question, Bhanteji, you ask.
Okay, thank you Bhante जी. So भंते जी ने श्रीलंका के कल्चर को बहुत ही अच्छे से डिफाइन किया है. जैसे हम लोगों को लगता है कि श्रीलंका दूर होने से श्रीलंका में सब कुछ अच्छा है, बट भंते जी का कहना है कि श्रीलंका में जो बचपन से जो मंक बनने के बाद उनके भी अंदर जो लिबरल थिंकिंग जो प्रमोट करना चाहिए, जो साइंटिफिक थिंकिंग को प्रमोट करना चाहिए, उससे दूर होते जा रहे हैं. कहीं ना कहीं वो साइंटिफिक थिंकिंग उनको नहीं मिल पाता है. जो भी परंपरा में पले बड़े बचपन से जो भी सीखे उसी को फॉलो करना बहुत आसान है, बट जो लिबरल माइंड है, जो साइंटिफिक थिंकिंग को जानना है, वो बहुत रेयर है. तो भंते जी भी उसी को कहना चाहते हैं कि हमें लाइफ के लेसन से, जिंदगी के जो सीख मिलती है जिंदगी से, उसी से सीखना सबसे बड़ा ज्ञान है. तो भंते जी से हम दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. ओके भंते जी, माय सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज हाउ कैन वी अंडरस्टैंड deeply and very clearly about Buddha and their teaching. Okay.
About Buddha, I understand how to understand the Dhamma. Buddha said, if you understand the Dhamma, if you see Dhamma, you see me. So actually what he wanted, Bhante wanted to ask how to approach the Dhamma, because we cannot see the Buddha, no? We can see Dhamma and we can see Sangha. So these two questions very important. The first question was about how to understand Dharma. I explained more or less. But now I will explain how to understand Sangha. Sangha is very important because we think we know Sangha. What is Sangha? These people are Sangha who are wearing these robes and they are talking about Dhamma and they have some rituals, vasavas or something. And they have 227 these disciplines. If you are a fully ordained Upasampada monk, and the Samanera monk has very 10 discipline, like that. But there was in Buddha's teaching, there is a very clear definition. Who is a bhikkhu? This I heard from my teacher, of course. But again, this definition was with me when I became monk. I learned so many things after becoming monk, but the basic things I knew without meeting my monk, my teacher. That is, this definition comes in not in Bhikkhu Vagga. In Dhammapada you don't find it in a Bhikkhu Vagga, not Arahanta Vagga. I search everywhere I search and very difficultly I found it. It shows that people who made this categorization, the classification of the Dhammapada, they didn't know anything about Buddhism. I feel like that because you should put it in the Bhikkhu Agga, no? Buddha says this is the definition. I will tell that we have not much time, so we will tell Bhikkhu what is the definition of Buddha. Bhikkhu is yoda punyancha papancha bahitva brahmacharyava sankaya loke charati savi bhikkhuti uchyati. See, I will try to explain this. One thing maybe no. Explanation is that yoda punyancha, if somebody leaves behind, bahitva means leave behind papancha punyancha. This is the basic message of Buddha. You have to, if you want to follow Buddha, you have to leave behind not only papa, you have to leave behind punya. Yoda punyancha papancha bahitva brahmacharyava. If he is becoming brahmachari, brahmachari is a big question also. What is brahmachari? Some people say, even somebody who is teaching Buddhist, he is a teacher in a school, he said, the Indian said, brahmacharya means in one sutta Buddha says, if you follow the Arya Ashtanga Marga, the eightfold path, he is brahmachari. Of course, Arya Ashtanga Marga is the exact path to the Nibbana. But the brahmacharya is, when you take the brahmacharya word, if you want to define it, there's a brahmacharya sutta. Okay? In Buddha says in that sutta, about 8, Anguttara Nikaya, it is in Anguttara Nikaya, about 8 points how to become brahmachari. If you leave the opposite sex, having sex with the opposite sex, it is the first stage of brahmachari. The second stage is that opposite sex will touch your body, you will be happy. That is the second, if you leave that, the second brahmacharya. The third thing is her voice, you hear some of opposite sex voice, you get amused, you feel better. That is the third level. So many levels go until the last point I will tell, as there's not much time to give all the sutra and I don't remember all the things also. So the last point is, some people, mundane, all the situations he covers, but he thinks these ladies are not good. If I go to the divine world, so divine world ladies may be very, very beautiful. I will have some relationship, bodily relationship with such beautiful women, Divyangana. So that is the last level of your brahmachari, breaking brahmachari. This brahmachari is so difficult to understand. So some people think it is about just if you refrain from contact with the women, that is all. No. If you listen to a female voice, it is you are breaking brahmachari. Because we get attached to the female voice not because she sings nicely. She sings nicely also. But the first of all, we are attached because of she is a opposite sex. So that is the natural way. If you go out totally from it, it may look like for a normal person it is a so dry situation. But that is the only way you to become brahmacharya, according to Buddha's explanation. And Sangha, I must say about Sangha, you don't know how to define Sangha. Many people, and that I learned from my teacher, how to define a Sangha. It comes under Supatipanno Savaka Sangho, Ujupatipanno Savaka Sangho,